from The Hill. Kavanaugh's attempted assassin sentenced to 8 years in prison. That's it. He attempted to assassinate not just a sitting Supreme Court justice, but his family was threatened as well. 8 years. I mean, that's pretty wild. So the message being sent with the assassination of the assassination allegedly by Luigi Mangione of Brian Thompson, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and the attempt on Kavanaugh's life is that you're going to get a slap on the wrist. You are going to be venerated and praised. So just a moment ago, you were mentioning the culture that brought us to this point. You've got a variety of factors at play. One, these liberal judges live in a liberal world and they want people on the right assassinated. Come on, I'm not playing stupid games anymore. When they say to this guy, you're free to go, okay, it's not literally 8 years in prison, but for attempting to kill a sitting Supreme Court justice, that's insane. There are people who are in prison longer than that for marijuana, just having pot.
Yep. And with good behavior, it might be just 4 years.
Indeed.
Yeah. So this judge, Deborah Broadman, she's actually a Biden appointee.
Indeed,
and she stated how she considered the fact that the suspect now identifies as a woman as a reason to lower the sentence.
There we go.
And he might even be in a woman's prison, which would be absolutely
People
ridiculous.
need to understand what time it is.
Yeah.
We have two distinct identities in the United States. The Democrats occupy the multicultural democracy, and everyone else occupies the constitutional republic. Even default libs are constitutional republic people, just don't know it. So they end up marching in lockstep with this weird cult.
Sometimes. A lot of them don't, though.
Well, as of recently, there has been a sharp bifurcation with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Many entrenched themselves, solidifying their position in the cult, and many others broke away. And I predicted this. I could be wrong because there's data to this, but basically what I'm seeing is what I expected to happen. That is, many default libs were shocked by the killing and are scared by it. And so there have been prominent individuals who have been speaking out in support of Turning Point and for Charlie, despite being what you'd consider default libs. They don't pay attention to politics. So I'm talking about celebrities, athletes, and otherwise. However, a decent amount of these people have gone hard at celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. So what my view is, and my prediction for the next year is I think there's going to be a terror attack or a major assassination within the next year. And the reason is exactly this. The right coalition has just expanded by double digits because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk scaring people. But default libs, many of them, entrenched themselves in the left cult. So I'd look at it like maybe 50% are leaning right with a decent boost, and now you've got 30 some odd percent in the left camp, boosting their numbers from what was actually like 10% a decade ago to like 20 in the past several years. So these people have basically entrenched themselves in the woke ideology cult, whatever you want to call it. That means they are going to believe there's fascists taking over. They are going to believe, like Gavin Newsom said, there will not be an election in 2028, and they are not going to accept Republicans winning. With the killing of Charlie Kirk, pushing a little bit of support towards the right, because it certainly didn't go the other way. The Republicans probably have an edge to win in many new locations, potentially in New Jersey, maybe not. I'd estimate there's a strong probability they actually survive the midterms, which would be shocking because usually it goes the other way.
Yep.
If the Democrats are looking like they're going to lose in just shy of a year's time, I believe that the entrenched large size of this cult is going to get extremely violent.
Dude, I'm concerned about false flags, like a foreign operative making it look like they're part of that liberal cult, whatever, and doing another assassination attempt. Or
because it'll break the country.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the first civil war in America, there was other countries that were involved in it. If there's going to be another civil war, you could bet your bottom dollar China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. Well, sorry, when?
I'm kidding,
you know, when the inevitable happens, I think we're in a non-kinetic type of war, and we see that when people doubled down after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Today, I made a video and I said it wasn't
non-kinetic.
Yeah, non-kinetic.
That
I apologize.
would be kinetic.
I would argue that that it wasn't just the assassination of Charlie, but the response to it that really kind of woke people up to just how close we are to bedlam and utter chaos in our society. And I think it really kind of ripped off the face and the mask of the establishment. And now people are finally seeing it to be as horrendous as it is. So this is a make or break moment for America that is going to be a key deciding factor to see where we're going from here. But all signs point to more trouble.
I don't see a path away from this because the way I look at it, there are a lot of people that watch this show and watch my morning show, and I'm not right about everything. I'm wrong about a lot. But the predictions that I have made have been, let's just say it, vaguely correct, right? So the example that I often give is in September of 2020, I said if Trump loses in November, his supporters are going to storm the White House. They're going to bust it down. They are not going to accept this. I was told that I was crazy, paranoid, etc. November came and went, nothing happened, and liberals made videos saying Tim Pool's crazy, he's a conspiracy theorist. Then January 6th happened. These same liberals made videos saying Tim Pool had foreknowledge of January 6th. They couldn't accept that, no, I just saw the temperature and saw what was going to happen.
I wonder
No,
if the
but the FBI did.
I wonder if the
Yeah.
FBI watched your video and they're like, all right, let's use this projection to do it.
I don't know. The point is this.
It's sick what happened.
There
to Tim.
is a river all around us. We are not the biggest show in the world, nor do we reach the most people. And while many people watch the show for a long time have probably been saying, I think Tim is actually right about the path that we're on. Convincing you guys doesn't change the direction of the river. So right now where we're at is we are cognizant of what is happening. We have been cognizant of it for 7 years, and there's little we can do to stop it.
Well, there's sort of
the point is this. Dana White gave an interview where he said, I don't like cancel culture. People shouldn't lose their jobs for what they're saying about Charlie Kirk. That is the perfect example of why nothing will stop this. Now, maybe I'm wrong because I'm only I say I'm vaguely correct. Obviously, nobody stormed the White House in November, but you get how I was kind of close to it. Dana White gave us a great example of prominent, moderate individuals who support Trump do not understand what they are supporting. When Dana White says we should allow people to celebrate the assassination of Charlie Kirk, he's saying, I'm not really involved in politics. I'm for free speech. A society where its most prominent business magnates and personalities defend the right to celebrate assassinations is a society headed down the path of Rwanda, which is exactly what happened when people would go on the radio and on the TV and say, I think it was the Tutsis, right? The other tribe are a bunch of demonic evil, and they got to be purged and killed, and mocking them and laughing. And then finally one day people woke up and said, okay, we're doing it, and started massacring the other tribe. We have opened the door to civil war because we celebrated, I don't say we, but this country defended the right of people to go on social media and go on TV and defend the assassination of Brian Thompson. Less than a year later, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and the left is still celebrating it, sending the message that if you're a liberal and you try to kill somebody, worst case scenario, you'll get a slap on the wrist, 8 years maybe if you're caught. If you are and you go to jail, they will make sainthood candles for you. They will celebrate you and praise you. We recently saw a comedy show at a university where in their thank you at the portion at the end, it said Charlie Kirk's killer. So when Dana White says this must be allowed, cancel culture is bad, he has said green light for 50 million people in this country to create an economy based on murdering your political opponents.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you want to irrigate a canal. He's like, just open the damn floodgates. We need the water in the canal. Like, bro, there's a way to irrigate the canal. Obviously, we need free speech, but you also have to be just about how you allow society to warp people's minds. Like, but here's the thing about prediction, and I've been thinking a lot about, are we predicting the future or are we creating the future? Like if I go on TV and say, there's going to be a party on Friday at that place, and then all these people hear it and they're like, oh, and then they all show up, I just manifested a party. I didn't even, so if you say there's going to be a civil war, people are like, oh, and then they all show up.
Except for the fact that the entire time people have been largely laughing and saying it's never going to happen.
There is a nuance between telling people get ready and be prepared and be there. It's sort of, so there's like a fine line.
Ian,
you know, you don't want to be fake, and you don't want to say everything's fine.
The people who are watching the show are not going out in the streets with guns and assassinating people.
But other people that might be afraid of you, people that hear you and they're like, really? He thinks, okay, I'm ready. Like,
I will say from the political side of things that yes, it does in a way. It does embolden people when they get a slap on the wrist. At the same time, though, I do believe that it wakes up a lot of people who have been silent. There is a sleeping giant in this country. We saw it in this last election. I believe that people finally got involved. And as a candidate and things like that, we get, sometimes it's like, you want people to be able to get involved into the process because so many people are not. But now, because of everything that's been going on, all the hate that's happening, reasonably minded people on both sides of the aisle look at this. I think there are a lot of reasonable Democrats that look at the assassination on Charlie Kirk and horrific things that happened to conservatives. I want to believe, and I truly believe, and the data does show that people are waking up, and there is still this sense of Americanism that, whoa, this is not who we are as Americans. We are not the people of Rwanda. We have values and virtue in this country. And I do believe that we are seeing the change because so many people are getting involved in the political process. I just, maybe anecdotally, but I get messages all the time that are like, hey, look, I'm sick of sitting on the sidelines. I want to help out. I want to get involved. I want to run for office. I'm not afraid to speak out anymore. And so I think for every time that we're living through these really rough times, we do all have a choice, though, of what do we want the country to look like? This is still our country at the end of the day.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.